here at COSI. We are so excited about Titanic, and I'm with Valerie Avaney, and we are talking about the iceberg. We're talking about that people didn't really drown.
That's right. Monica, this happened in the North Sea where it's, of course, salt water. It's ocean water. And you know that we use salt to melt ice on the roads. So which of these two containers, I have two containers here, one has fresh water and one has salt water, and they're both filled with ice. So which one do you think is going to be colder?
All right, so based on what you've told me, I know it's going to be this one, but also even just looking at it, you can see
how much frostier it is. And here's the temperature difference. It's a significant difference between the two. The salt water is much colder, and that's because the salt is lowering the freezing temperature of water. That causes that ice to melt, and that's an endothermic process. That means it's pulling heat into itself out of the water, significantly colder water. So people who came out of the Titanic into that water largely didn't die of drowning. They actually died of hypothermia because you have about 15 minutes at best in water at that temperature.
I can't even imagine.
Now, that makes us wonder, why are there some mammals who can survive in that? We can't, but other mammals can. So if you think of whales in salt water up in that area, what did they have that we don't?
I mean, a little bit more blubber.
Yes.
Than I have.
A special kind of fat called blubber. And what's really cool about that is we can replicate that experience. So these two bowls are filled with ice water, and I have here a glove made out of lard.
A blubber glove?
It is a blubber glove. So let's go ahead and put your hand in that.
Okay.
And how's that feel? Not bad. Here's just plain without blubber.
Just with my chubs. Not that good.
Yeah, it's a big difference, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's a significant difference. And clearly, that's what sets those animals apart from us. And the last thing I have to show you is this really cool demonstration of an iceberg. So if you get down at that level, you can see how much of that iceberg is actually below the surface.
Wow.
So there is no way for that ship captain and the crew to have known what was under the surface. They could only see what was on top. But even more than that, what's really interesting is that the crew actually didn't have binoculars on this trip. So they actually forgot them as they got on the ship and left port. Some of the passengers did have binoculars, and we actually have an example here in the exhibit, but the crew did not. So they couldn't have seen the iceberg until they were right up on it, and they couldn't have seen what was under the surface.
Oh, it's just awful when you think about it. It is really cool to see these different experiments, things that you could do at home.
Absolutely, you could
make this with some Crisco at home and a couple of bags. And I love how you made the little iceberg.
Yeah.
Just a balloon, freeze it. Do that at home.
It's really fun to experiment with it.
Absolutely. And obviously, you want to come to COSI, you want to check out this Titanic exhibit, learn some of these little tidbits. It's all so fascinating. Titanic will be here through Labor Day. Valerie, thank you so much.
Thank you.